Oh, hello. In this video, I wanted to talk about NVDA. So you're looking at the daily chart of NVDA. You can see that NVIDIA had a huge run up. So let's have a look. So from the end of December, it's now up 56%. Strong run up, no question about it. So let's just discuss what we see technically. What are the key support and resistance levels to watch out for? So if you look at it right now, you can clearly see that it's been making a series of higher lows, and it's also taken out this previous swing high. So the price action is definitely positive. If I look at the moving averages, so I've got three moving averages. The black one is the 200-day moving average. The green is the daily 20 EMA, and the yellow one is the daily 50 EMA. You can see that the daily 20 and 50, they've now crossed above the 200-day moving average. So this is a bullish cross, and then the moving averages are rising. So we see something like this here. So these moving averages are now going to act as a dynamic support level. The way it did right here, you can see support right here. The only thing is that the price is now quite a bit above the moving averages. So there is room for some pullback because you don't want to see it go too far away. The moving averages act as an equilibrium level. So when they go too far away from the moving average, either to the upside or to the downside, there is a propensity to come back to the moving averages. So I could clearly see, some pullback while the moving averages, move higher, so that they kind of catch up with one another. But overall, this is a positive price action above the moving averages, above the 200-day moving averages, 200-day moving average. If we look at the momentum indicators, what do we see? MACD is still rising. It's above the zero line. This is positive. RSI is above the 50 level right here. You can see that right here RSI went above the 50 level, which is the black line right here. And as long as it stayed above the 50, you can see price was rising. Right here it fell below the 50 level, so you can see it pulled back. And then right here again on January 9th, it went above the 50 level, and it's been above the 50 level since. You can see price continue to move higher. The only thing I'm noticing right now is, you see, RSI has made a lower high, even though price made a higher high. So I'm seeing some weakness, some weakening of the momentum. I think this is quite normal when you see a stock rise like this way. This is quite normal. As long as it doesn't fall below the 50 level, I would expect any correction to be healthy, to be very honest with you. You can see right here when RSI went above this green line, which is the 70 level, RSI basically consolidated while price held up relatively well. Only when RSI fell below the 50 level, that's when we saw a decline in price. So I would expect RSI to come back down a little bit, but so long as it doesn't fall below the 50 level, I think it's all good. Stochastic is above the 50 level. This is also positive. I mean, stochastic is in an overbought area, so some pullback maybe to the 50 level cannot be ruled out. You can see right here there was some pullback to the 50 level. You can see 50 level act as a resistance right here. It acted as a support right here. It acted as a resistance right here. So some pullback to the 50 would be considered healthy. It will also give an opportunity for all the technical indicators which are in overbought level to catch up, But based on what I see right now, I think this is positive. So let's look at some levels that we should be looking out for. So I want to pay attention to some horizontal levels. So I'm going to hide the moving averages. So I'm just going to zoom it out so we can see like what are the levels we should be looking out for. Right. So obviously this is an important level. This is around 217. So this is where you can see there was some weakness, some rejection. You can see on Friday there was a selling at that level. So this would be an area that I would be looking for. This would be an area to look out for. So this is around 217. Above it would be this level. This is around 228. So those would be the two levels on the upside. NVDA closed Friday at 211. So this is around 217, 218, that level. What about the support levels? So the first area would be this around 208. It did touch that level on Friday, so that would be the first level. The next level would be this level, which is around 198. So those would be the levels, and below there you've got this one, also this where the red line is, and that coincides with this high. So this one is around 188. So those would be the levels to look out for. So if I bring in the moving averages, you can see the 20 EMA is right here right here, so which is around 188. So even if it were to pull back to this level, the technical picture will still remain positive, because the moving average, it would not be violating any of the moving averages. Yes, it will break below some of the horizontal levels, but that's okay. But as long as the moving averages are moving higher and the price remains above the moving averages, I think that's still fine. But I'm not saying that it should fall to 188. I would look for these, it could also move sideways within these ranges while the moving averages moved higher and caught up with it. But these would be the levels to watch out for. Don't want to see it fall below these moving averages. That would be kind of a no-no. So that's on a daily basis. Now, if I look at the weekly basis, just to see, so I'm just going to hide some of the drawing. So on a weekly basis, what do I see? You can clearly see this inverse head and shoulder, no question about it. You can see that it has established it has gone above the weekly 20 and 50 exponential moving averages. So that is that is positive. The longer this price remains above those moving averages, the more relevant this breakout becomes. You can also notice that these moving averages are now beginning to curl, because you can see that they were moving higher, and then when the selling started, they crossed and they started moving lower. What we want to see is we want to see them cross and then starts to move higher, something like this. So then a new weekly uptrend will start, with the moving averages providing dynamic support. You can see as they were moving higher, the moving averages provided support. So something like this. So the longer it stays above these moving averages, the higher the probability that we're going to see additional move to the upside. Now let's look at the weekly momentum indicators. RSI remains above 50. This is positive. You can see RSI is making higher high. You can see that ever since the selling started, right from here, RSI was primarily below the 50 level. It has now made a decisive move above the 50 level. This is positive. You can see stochastic is above the 50 level. You can see the recent pullback found support at the 50 level. So this is positive. Look at MACD. It's now crossing above the zero line, right? So you'll see that when the selling started, this is when weekly MACD fell below the zero line, and it stayed below the zero line for all this time. Only now it's crossing. This is bullish to me. So when I look at the three momentum indicators, they are all looking positive to me. So given that, I would be looking for positive outcomes. Yes, you can have pullback. You can have pullback like this, but these pullbacks are actually healthy. They get recovered very quickly, especially when momentum indicators remain positive, then they get recovered very quickly. So given the fact that the momentum indicators are positive, I would be looking for any opportunity, any pullback. I would be looking for buying opportunity. I would not be looking for any significant move to the downside unless these moving averages. If RSI fell below the 50 and stochastic fell below this midpoint, then obviously the technical picture will change. But at the moment, technical picture looks positive to me. I would expect more positive outcomes in coming weeks and months. So leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching the video.